Hello, and welcome to Mixed Media. It's our second show of the year. And yes, so thanks for tuning in if you're watching live. If not, you're watching or listening to us later. Thanks for listening. Yeah, so it's Mixed Media. We are a weekly podcast, 7 o'clock Eastern Time, 7 p.m. Eastern Time every Friday night for now. Live streamed and available on every podcasting platform out there, at least as far as I know. Probably are some that I don't know, but yeah. And we are three guys who like to talk about arts in general and our specific fields of art more specifically. But yeah, just generally having nice conversations about art. All right, well, let's start off by introducing ourselves. So I'm Ben Costello. I'm a flute player and a media composer.
And I'm Irving Nestor. I'm a filmmaker and media entrepreneur.
I'm Nathan Nestor, and I'm a 3D modeler and game developer.
Yeah, so that's who we are. Those are our kind of artistic specialties, although we talk about art more broadly and art and economics as well. Okay, so I think we want to start off with news this time.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, so this past week in artistic news. So I guess I can start. I think the big news in the music world, or at least in the kind of film music world, which is more of what I focus on. I'm sure there's a lot of other things going on, but big news there is that Hans Zimmer's score for Dune won the Golden Globe for Best Original Score. It's pretty much the consensus pick. Everyone thinks it's going to be, pretty much unanimous win at the Oscars for Best Original Score as well. Although apparently score for Don't Look Up by Nicholas Britell or Brittle, which I don't actually know how to say his name, so I've never heard of him. Although that's kind of considered the number 2 score of the year. Which is interesting because, I haven't heard of him. I have not heard of the film either, so I'm going to check that out. And for Best Original Song, Billie Eilish and her brother Phineas, I believe is his art art name, won for No Time to Die, the kind of song for James Bond, No Time to Die. And of course that is also the score for that was written by Hans Zimmer. So Zimmer's at the top of everything.
Yeah, I'll hop on that because it's that's exactly what I was going to talk about. Was the Golden Globes. I actually don't know. I didn't know the Golden Globes was happening, and the only reason I knew the Golden Globes was happening was because the news became no one knew that the Golden Globes happened.
Actually, did not know. Yeah.
It's an interesting thing. Basically, they didn't do a traditional broadcast of the Golden Globes. Instead, they broadcasted the affair on Twitter, not live streaming, but like via tweet. They just announced the winners of the Golden Globe via tweet, and this is after basically a boycott from Hollywood actors not wanting to go for allegations of racism that I am frankly not aware of, or not. I just don't know anything about the controversy at all. That's how far out of touch I am with a lot of the like random like interpersonal sort of news. I don't really know what happens, and I don't really care to know. So that happened, and was that pretty much it? Yeah, I think that was pretty much it. I mean, like, I guess go check out the winners if you care. I think basically no one cares at this point about these award shows, and I think they kind of did it to themselves. In racism or not, like, there's a lot of problems with Hollywood that people don't appreciate, and a lot of people don't appreciate. It's the kind of issue that everyone can sympathize on, even if they don't want to verbalize, which is feeling that those in Hollywood don't understand the average person, and the whole affair just seems very pompous and self-aggrandizing and just frankly not interesting, and a lot of talking down to people that they don't know and all that kind of stuff. That's not very appealing to the average person, no matter what your background is. So that's why these award shows are not doing well. They forgot that it's about the art and not about, and of course the artists as well, to some extent, but not about basically having a platform to rant about $2 opinions, basically. So that's my news.
This might sound a bit uncultured, but what is the difference between the Golden Globes and the Oscars?
So really just a difference. Well, I'm very unfamiliar with the Golden Globes, like, functionally. I don't really know how it works. I never really cared to know. For cinema, Oscars is such a larger, it's a more coveted sort of thing, for sure, by far. But Golden Globes is run by Hollywood HSPA or something like that. I don't know. Basically, or HSJA. I don't remember. But basically, the
FPA, it says. Hollywood Foreign Press Association.
Yeah, that thing. There you go. Which I think originally was basically, a bunch of film journalists got together and wanted to decide, who was the best at XYZ. That transformed into a much more pompous event of the Golden Globes. And if I'm correct, I'm not sure if I'm correct on this, but it features, I think, a little bit more on the TV side. No? Or am I wrong about that?
That's what I thought, actually. I thought it was more of a TV thing, and then you said Dune, and I was like, huh? So
yeah, I don't think it's exclusively shows, but I think there are more show-oriented awards. I think that's its differentiating factor.
Really, what I know about it, especially for music, it's just kind of like a really good predictor of what's going to happen at the Oscars.
Yeah, there's like for every award, there's like a good precursor award from a different ceremony. So like for cinematography, there's the I can't remember. Basically, there's a cinematography award, and that person has like an 80% chance of getting an Oscar, basically, just based off of getting the other award, because the overlap of the voters is like basic. It's basically the same population of people voting. So that's the difference. Any gaming news?
I have 3 pieces of news. So, okay, firstly, I didn't know this, but Sony was still making PlayStation 4s, and they say now they'll continue making them due to PS5 shortages. So, in case you can't get your hands on a PS5, you can try for a PS4, I guess. So they're continuing to make those. Take-Two Interactive is going to buy Zynga for $12.7 billion. Take-Two, huh?
That's a lot of money. Sorry, that's just
yeah. Considering like Zynga, like I know what the logo looks like. It's like a dog. I think it's red. It's like I've heard of this company before. I just don't know what they do. I looked it up, and they make mobile games, which really I was like, okay, that's interesting. All right, maybe they make some big mobile games. Maybe like Farmville. I was like, okay, I've never even like seen footage of this game. How do I even know what this company is? I don't know how I am so familiar with the brand name Zynga, but supposedly presumably I've seen their logo many times before. I don't know why, considering they make games that I don't think I've ever seen before, but I've at least heard of in name at most. So
I think they make a lot of apps.
Yeah, a lot of apps. They do have a partnership with Hasbro for some board game stuff, I think. Oh, they make a Words with Friends. I think they do that. I think they make Word with Friends. So yeah, that's interesting. That's a lot of money. And Krafton, the company that owns the company that created PUBG, so the publisher, I guess, is suing Google, YouTube, and Apple over PUBG clones that they say these 3 companies, or I guess Google, YouTube are one, whatever, that are allowing to roam their app stores and roam YouTube, as in they're not taking down video that has copyrighted footage, because a specific game called Free Fire, which is a mobile game, they say that it is too close to PUBG and it infringes on their copyright stuffs. And yeah, Google and Apple are like, nah, we're good. We're going to leave it up and stuff like that. So they're suing them now. It seems that they actually sued Free Fire before for... This article doesn't make it clear. I assume for a desktop version of the game, and they settled it out of court. I don't know whatever happened to that. And then now this thing is happening. I have actually played Free Fire before, so it's a mobile battle royale game. I have played it before. I can't speak to how close it is to PUBG because I've never played PUBG before, specifically PUBG Mobile. I've never played before, but I at least from footage, it definitely looks very similar. I'll say that. And Free Fire used to be called Free Fire Battlegrounds, which is clearly a reference to PlayerUnknown's Battleground, right? So yeah, there's that, and yeah, that's all I have for news.
Nice. What about personal news? What's happening in your guys' lives in the last week? Anything interesting?
Not particularly, I guess. I showed some progress with that, the Steam Profit thing. So yeah, and I have a nice list of 40 games coming out this week that I can look at.
Cool.
Yeah, not much new with me. I'm trying to watch some Kurosawa films, which very interesting. I mean, at least from what I've seen, is like the only Japanese films I know. But the musical world is quite different than it is, it was in Hollywood, and at the same time, kind of interesting to compare that.
Yeah, I ended up not being able to watch any film last week, which kind of sucks. So I never got to watch Tarkovsky, which I was kind of excited for. But I'm also excited to watch some Kurosawa, because I've got some films that I bought that I haven't watched yet. And everything I've seen from Japanese cinema, whether it's anime or live action thus far, and to be fair, I tend to pick out stuff that is like universally loved. So, I don't know if it's representative or not, but I have not disliked anything that came out of Japanese cinema. It's just top-notch stuff from everything that I've seen. So high praise.
Have you watched the latest episode of Attack on Titan?
No, I haven't.
I'm not either. I'm waiting to binge it later when more episodes come out. And hoping no one spoils anything. I have not watched a single trailer. I have not listened to a single piece of the soundtrack. I am waiting. Yeah.
Let's see. In terms of other stuff in my life, no, there's not much going on. I've just been plugging away at the normal stuff. I can't really think of anything notable, which is it is what it is. Oh, you know what I just remembered? I forgot to turn off the promotion.
What was the original thing? Was it Thanksgiving or Christmas?
It was for Black Friday. And then I extended it until year's end, and now it's January 14th. So
it's been about a little less than 2 months.
Exactly. Well, I mean, all's fair. So if you go to mixedmedia.locals.com and you sign up there, you help perpetuate this podcast and help us to get to more ears. What's more helpful, though, at this stage of the podcast than even that, although I would love to see you at mixedmedia.locals.com, and you can look at all the perks that are there, is to like and share anything you like from our channel, podcast, wherever you are. Share with someone, particularly who you think might enjoy that particular episode or, the podcast as a whole. Just share it with your fellow artists, and I promise we'll deliver the good content, the sweet content in response. So there's the plug.